On today's episode of Can You Afford Long Island, we're going to cover Lynbrook, Long Island, because this town looks modest, quiet, and very normal, but the numbers in the history and commute tell a very different story. So today, can you afford Lynbrook, Long Island? Lynbrook didn't just start as a luxury suburb. Lynbrook in the 1800s was actually originally known as Parsonage Point and a small farming and milling town. It was tied to South Shore waterways and local trade. Now, everything changed when the Long Island Railroad arrived. Once the Long Island Railroad service expanded here in the early 1900s, Lynbrook transformed into what is known today as a true railroad commuter town built for people who work in the city but want a neighborhood suburban lifestyle. It gives you access and it gives you suburban at the same exact time. The identity still drives demand and pricing today, making Lynbrook uber desirable. So let's step into reason number one that people prefer Nassau County over Suffolk County, which is commuting being the number one reason. Lynbrook sits on the Babylon line, one of the fastest and the most reliable Long Island Railroad lines that exists. The commute to Penn Station is about 35 to 40 minutes with frequent peak hour service, easy transfers towards Grand Central, and it's a very commuter-friendly schedule. That is one of the highest points in looking to live in Lynbrook, is the commute, and the train is pretty predictable. Now, the monthly Long Island Railroad ticket cost, because it's in Zone 4, runs about $300 to $330 a month. The commute alone places Lynbrook in a higher demand category than many surrounding towns because it's pretty much so easy and so reliable compared to other train lines. Now, let's jump into actual housing and what you're actually buying. Now, when it comes to home styles, most Lynbrook homes are Cape Cod style homes, followed by traditional colonials and ranches with smaller number of expanded or fully renovated capes also available. Then, most housing was built in the mid-1900s from the working middle class family, but now there are a few new builds and a lot of new homes that have been renovated with the average lot size roughly about 6,000 to 7,000 square feet. And typically between 50 to 100 feet, homes sit closer together here than they do in Suffolk County. You don't get very large yards and you don't get good backyard depth. It's not a very land heavy town. You're kind of giving up the land so that you can have the access to the city and have more of that small town neighborhood feel. Now, when it comes to pricing, Lynbrook is not cheap. The median home price ranges from $720,000 to $760,000, with renovating homes pushing way higher and inventory staying very tight. Homes in Lynbrook do not come up that often, especially fully renovated homes. With 20% down, the estimated monthly cost runs about $4,300 to $4,800. With 3.5% down and PMI, monthly costs rise to roughly $5,000 to $5,400. Now listen, these prices can vary because guess what? There is different severity of actual property taxes, insurance rates, and everything, etc. But to be comfortable in a household income in Lynbrook, you need to fall between $160,000 a year to $185,000 per year. While Lynbrook isn't known for mansions, the top sales have reached approximately $1.6 million for fully renovated or custom homes in the last few years. So the question becomes, can you afford to live in Lynbrook, Long Island? And is it actually a place that you would consider? Comment below and let me know.